Hello, and welcome to our podcast, where today we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating aspects of storytelling, the art of timing plot twists expertly. If you're a writer aiming not only to entertain, but to truly captivate your audience, then understanding when and how to introduce the unexpected is crucial. Over the years, I've had the privilege of teaching narrative structure to hundreds of professionals, and let me tell you, there's one question that pops up time and again. When is the right moment to pull off a plot twist? It's a great question, and here's the kicker. There's no one-size-fits-all answer. The right moment isn't a fixed point. It's a strategic choice that can elevate your story or leave it flat. So today, we're going to delve into this very topic, balancing educational depth with commercial savvy, to help you master the timing of plot twists. Now, let's get into the psychology behind the magic. Plot twists are more than just surprising moments. They're a form of psychological manipulation, an artful one at that. Our brains are wired to seek patterns and predictability, and that's exactly why a well-timed twist can create such a powerful emotional impact. When we look at the neuroscience, it turns out that plot twists activate the brain's reward centers. Much like solving a puzzle or encountering an unexpected positive event, this is what transforms a simple story into an unforgettable experience, one that readers will discuss, recommend, and revisit. Before we tackle the timing, though, let's break down what makes a twist truly compelling. At its core, a plot twist is a narrative technique that radically shifts the direction or expected outcome of your story. The best twists aren't just surprising, they're inevitable in hindsight. A great twist should feel both unexpected and, upon reflection, the only possible conclusion. It's like what John Barth, the author and literary critic, said: "A good twist is not just a surprise, but a revelation that recontextualizes the entire narrative." This delicate balance is what separates a fleeting shock from a memorable narrative experience. A compelling twist operates on multiple levels. On the surface, it provides that immediate shock value, a gasp-inducing moment that makes readers sit up. But beneath that is a more sophisticated mechanism, the cognitive restructuring of everything the reader thought they knew. This is where the real magic happens, turning a simple surprise into a narrative game-changer. Think about how master storytellers like Agatha Christie worked their magic. Christie didn't just hide information. She placed it right in front of you, camouflaged within seemingly innocent details that only gain significance upon the final reveal. I like to call this transparent misdirection. It requires you to think several steps ahead, like a chess master planning an intricate checkmate. The most effective twists serve multiple purposes simultaneously. They don't just surprise, they illuminate character motivations, resolve seemingly unrelated plot threads, and often provide thematic resonance that elevates the entire work. When a twist hits all these marks, it creates what I call narrative synergy, a moment where all elements of your story align perfectly. So, how do we start planting seeds for these twists? In the early stages of your story, your main goal is to hook your audience and establish the world of your narrative. This is the perfect time to begin planting subtle seeds for potential plot twists. These seeds aren't obvious clues. They're often delicate hints, clever distractions, or seemingly minor character details that will later take on profound meaning. Successful narratives often layer these elements early on, creating a solid foundation for even the most audacious twists later. The psychological impact of this early groundwork is fascinating. Research suggests that well-executed plot twists can heighten reader engagement by creating a sense of cognitive dissonance, prompting readers to resolve the gap between their expectations and the new information. So, the more subtly you set up your twist, the more satisfying it will be when revealed. I call this the breadcrumb trail method. Scatter just enough breadcrumbs to guide your readers without giving away the whole path. Here's the thing about seed planting. The most effective foreshadowing often looks like character development or world building. When you introduce a character's hobby, mention a historical detail about your fictional town, or describe a family heirloom in passing, you're not just adding texture. You're laying the groundwork for a revelation that will redefine everything. The key is to weave these elements so naturally into your story's fabric that they feel essential to the scene, not like setup for future payoffs. This requires what I call dual-purpose writing, where every detail serves the immediate moment and potentially the larger narrative. It's challenging, but when done right, it creates that magical, of course, moment when readers realize they had all the pieces but couldn't see the full picture. Let's talk about misdirection and understanding reader expectations. Readers bring a web of expectations based on genre conventions, cultural narratives, and personal reading history. These aren't obstacles, they're tools. The best plot twists exploit what's known as confirmation bias, our tendency to interpret information that confirms our existing beliefs. By understanding this, you can feed readers information that supports their initial assumptions while setting up a revelation that will shatter those assumptions. Every story establishes an implicit agreement with its audience about the experience they're signing up for. A romance novel promises certain emotional beats. A mystery novel promises clues and resolution. A horror story promises escalating dread. The most effective twists honor these contracts while finding unexpected ways to fulfill them. Take Jordan Peele's Get Out, for example. It operates within the horror genre while subverting racial expectations. It delivers all the genre conventions, tension, mystery, confrontation, while using these elements to explore themes of racism and cultural appropriation in ways that feel both shocking and inevitable. Finally, let's consider the midpoint of your narrative, a golden opportunity for a significant plot twist. By this point, your audience is deeply invested in the characters and storyline, making it the ideal moment to introduce a twist that reshapes their understanding of the narrative. The midpoint twist acts as a pivot, altering the trajectory of the story while recontextualizing everything that came before. It's a moment that can rejuvenate the narrative and keep your audience on the edge of their seats. So, there you have it, the essential guide to timing plot twists expertly. Remember, a good twist is about more than surprise. It's about creating an unforgettable experience. Whether you're planting subtle seeds, understanding reader psychology, or crafting a midpoint revelation, the key is to create a twist that feels both surprising and inevitable. Happy writing, and may your narratives keep your readers guessing until the very last page.